we'll start with Tracy this time. What are your views on the recent change from security to community patrol and landscape outsourcing?
I think, having been on the board during the time when the change was made, the change was necessary at the time. We weren't getting what we wanted from our in-house security, so we had a survey done by a professional corporation, gave us the results. We did a fact-finding. It wasn't something that was just done on a whim. And then we sent out our RFPs, and from that chose a security group to outsource our community patrol to. I don't know that we're getting, personally, I don't think that we're getting what we pay for from our current security patrol. I do think that some type of patrol is necessary. It does seem to serve as a deterrent. The word gets out that Montclair has security, and we definitely need something during the summer months. The summer months when kids are out of school and the beaches are open, we have to especially protect our liability. So we need somebody down there at least patrolling our beaches and making sure we don't have trespassers or things going on that are illegal activities. But I think it's something that the next board, we need to re-examine and see what we're getting for our money, and if we need to continue down the path that we're currently on, or if we need to make some changes. And for landscaping, I think outsourcing was the best thing that we did. I think that we got a professional staff in, we get what we pay for, and the medians look 100% better with the professional staff, and I think that was one of the best decisions that we made.
I've already talked about landscaping, so let me just focus on the patrol. And I do use that word carefully. I consider it a patrol rather than a security service per se, because Montclair is a very safe community statistically. What we have from the board point of view, homeowners that find themselves in need of assistance from the police should not find themselves using the patrol service. You are either in a position where patrol is a sense of community. I feel safer because I do have somebody driving around providing that roving service. But when it gets down to where there is a necessity to call the police, that is where you jump to. And security in the use of that term tends to confuse that issue. I am a firm believer that when the patrol function was embedded in the Armstrong contract, we were not doing ourselves the justice that was necessary to the management company and or the community. So the migration to contracting that out is a very costly expenditure. But in the process of doing that, we no longer had to own vehicles. We were able to manage a professional capability from a contractual point of view. And I believe that when the kids are out of school and the beaches are open, we need to have that intermediate kind of capability of assisting the rec guards, assisting the lifeguards that are monitoring the beaches, should they have a need that does not fall into the category of requiring the police. And it is very useful in that time of the year. So I'm supportive of it in its current construct. It's an area that continues to need attention in ensuring that we're getting the service. So from the board, we'll be attentive to it, but I'm supportive of it.
I agree with Tracy, and I have already commented on landscaping. I think that part was and has been a great success. I think it's obvious the improvements that have been made and are being made. Likewise, I recognize it was a difficult process to break these contracted services out from the management contract. But now that it's done, it was done in order to give the community more flexibility and an opportunity to find savings and increase, the payoff of the services. I think security is an area ripe for cost savings and improvement. One thing that I think is reflected by the fact that you've got 4 candidates for 4 board, seats and board meetings that are sparsely attended, or that it's even challenging to reach a quorum at a vote, is the ongoing challenge of just plain participation. And I think community involvement in the sense of neighborhood watches, taking more direct responsibility. I don't think we need contracted security to do house checks. I've got 6 neighbors, who would happy on an instant notice, to come feed my cats and turn the lights on. And I think that's the kind of community Montclair should be. So I know we've got a long history of providing some sort of patrol, and how that evolves, I'm interested in being part of the discussion, but I think it's something different than what we have now.
Well, I think we're all essentially saying the same thing here. Outsourcing in general is a good concept if it's done properly. It has to be contracted properly. It has to be flexible, and you have to use that flexibility. So yes, I think outsourcing is good. The landscape contract has obviously been done well. It's landscaping has been kept up better over the last year that I've been here. I'd echo the same comments of everybody else this answered on security, that I'm not sure that we're getting what we're paying for. As not being a board member, I haven't been privy to some of the data that's available. I look forward to looking at some of that data. Necessarily, it's kind of withheld from the general public. So I look forward to looking at that, seeing what it says, looking at the data prior to the contract and after the contract, and see if I can tell that there actually has been any difference from it. And I really agree with what Chris just said about neighborhood watches. I think it should be a neighborhood watch issue, and I'm a member of my local neighborhood watch. I think everybody else should be as well. If we all are doing that and we're all keeping an eye on things, I think security is one of those things, or patrol is one of those things that we probably really don't need.
Okay.